Harihi Om Ganganapadaye Namaha Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha Om Aim Saraswatye Namaha Om Bhadram Karnevih Shruniyama Devaha Bhadram Paschimakhavir Jajatraham Sthirai Rangai Stashtovam Sastanuvir Vyashema Devahitam Jadayuhum Swasti na Indro Vriddhasravaha Swasti na Puka Visvaveda Swasti no Starkyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Brahaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti 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 Tadahurjad Brahma Vidyaya Sarvam Bhavishyanto Manushya Manyante Kimu Tad Brahma Vedyasma Tat Sarvam Bhavat Iti Brahmava Idamagra Asi Tadatmanameva Vetum Aham Brahma Asmiti Tasma Tat Sarvam Bhavat Tadhyo yo devanam pratyabudhyatam shaiva tadabhavat tadattarshinam tatha manushyanam taddaitat tatpasyan rushir bhamadevah pratipedim aham manurabhavung surjascetim tadidamapi tarhi ya evam vedaham brahmasmitim Sa idagum sarvam bhavati tasya nam devascha bhutya isatim atma yesagum sabhavatim atha yonyam devata mupaste nyosavanyohamasmitim na saveda jatha pasureva gumsa devanam Yathaha vaibhavah pashabho manusyang bhunjureva mekaikah purushom Devan bhunaktaye kasvannevam pasavadiyamane priyam Bhavati kimu bahusu tasmadesham tattanna priyam yadetan manusya vidyuhu Divya Atman, now let us delve into the meaning of the shlokas chanted from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Man's innate quest for knowledge and truth. It has been said that people in ancient times had the knowledge of Brahman, and through that knowledge they became the all. What was that knowledge with which they were endowed, which enabled them to know the all, become the all, be the all? In the beginning, Brahman, the Absolute, alone was. It knew itself only as I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. I am the all. Whoever was the individual, celestial or seer, who became awakened to this knowledge became the all. This is so even now. Rishi Vamadeva had this knowledge. Having awakened himself to this divine status, to consciousness of universal existence, Vamadeva began to proclaim his experience even while in the womb of his mother. I was once the sun shining in the sky. I was Manu, the progenitor of this world. Through all these species and forms of existence, I have passed to come to this experience. I am the all. Even today, this is so. Whoever knows this, I am Brahman, becomes this all. Not even the gods can prevent his becoming thus, attaining this supreme state, because when one has this knowledge, he becomes the self of the gods themselves. So, whoever worships another divinity other than the universal self, thinking that he is one and that God another, such a person knows not. What is the eternal quest of man? There is inbuilt in man the desire to know. Within the entire creation, this thirst for knowledge is a unique quality that human beings alone possess. All human species are merely engaged in satisfying the needs of the body because they do not have a thinking mind. They do not have desires and cravings, ambitions and expectations, schemes and plans for the future. All that a non-human creature wants is enough to eat, some shelter for protection, and the satisfaction of its basic instincts and impulses like procreation. These form the sole quest of subhuman species from the time of birth until they pass away. Man alone has the potential for a vertical dimension. He wants to know everything. Even an infant, only a few months old, is curious about the world around it. Little children continuously ask, what is this? What is that? This quest for knowledge manifests at a very early age. This curiosity, this wanting to know. Ultimately, this thirst for knowledge led man to seek that which alone existed before creation. When that knowledge was gained, something strange happened. What was it? They explain it like this. There was a doll made of salt living in the interior of the land. Someone told this salt doll, "Oh dolly, there exists something grand and magnificent called the sea." "What is it?" the doll asked. "It's a vast body of water, so vast and so splendid that it cannot be described." "Is it as big as a well?" inquired the doll. "Oh no, it's much bigger." "Is it as big as a lake?" No, you can see the circumference of a well or a lake." "Then, is it like a river?" "No, even a river has a further bank that you can see. But this is a body of water so vast that one can't see its bank." "Oh, then I must see it," said the doll. So it started on a journey. Someone told it, "If you continue to walk in that direction, you will come to the sea." It started walking and kept on walking day and night until ultimately it began to feel the sweet, cool breezes arising from the sea and to hear the roar of the waves crashing on the shore. Finally, it reached the sea and gazed in wonder. For the first time, it could understand, oh, here is a body of water so extraordinarily vast that its other bank cannot be seen. Then suddenly, an idea came into the mind of this little doll. Yes, I cannot see the further shore, but maybe I can see how deep it is. If its distance cannot be known, perhaps I can know its depth. But how can I know it? Well, I must take a plunge, and then when I hit the bottom, I'll know how deep it is. So they say, with the desire to know its depth, the doll jumped into the sea. But lo, as it was trying to find the depth, soon, being made of salt, it dissolved in the water and disappeared. And there no longer existed any salt doll, to cognize the sea. Similarly, when our ancient sages wished to know that Brahman, which alone existed before creation, they suddenly found that the one who was questing was no more there and Brahman alone was there. They merged into it. They became identified with it. Then they knew with absolute certainty the great truth of the existence of an eternal being that was all in all. Sweetness, sweetness, sweetness. Everything is sweetness. Sweetness beyond description. All is beauty, auspiciousness, bliss. They were immersed in an ocean of bliss. Indescribable bliss, Ananda, Brahmeti Vedanat. And they understood that bliss is Brahman. They knew that reality to be present everywhere in all its fullness, always, always unchanging, without contradiction, encompassing everything, pervading everything, indwelling everything. That eternal being was the awareness and consciousness of all conscious beings on earth. And they knew themselves to be that alone, the absolute, the all. This awareness has been successfully borne out by the experience of all the mystics of all times, of all climes, ancient, medieval, modern, oriental, occidental, everywhere. The experience which the young Prince Siddhartha had while sitting under the Bodhi tree, the experience which changed Siddhartha into a Tathagata, a Buddha, was such an experience. From the top of his head to the tip of his toes, he was filled with bliss. He was intoxicated and inebriated with that bliss to such an extent that he was not aware of the passage of time. He was not aware whether it was night or day. Filled with that bliss, he kept walking to and fro from one side of the garden to the other side in a state of unutterable joy. For a full 40 days he was immersed in that state. For a full 40 days he kept walking in that garden, unaware of name or body or time or space, immersed in a peace like no other peace, a supreme, unalterable, absolute, infinite peace that was not different from God. That state experienced by Lord Buddha is no different from the Satchidananda Brahman, the eternal state of God. God is peace, God is bliss, and God is existence. There is no time when God is not. There is no place where God is not. That peace pervades everywhere, just as the air we breathe is everywhere in this whole world. There is not one speck of space where air is not present. If an ordinary thing like air can be all pervading, what to say of God? There is not a speck of space or an atom of matter where that peace is not. The entire universe is permeated by that peace. What a tremendous realization! What a tremendous realization that at this moment the bliss of Brahman pervades everywhere, within and without. Bliss is the great reality. Peace, supreme, immeasurable, profound peace is the great reality. That peace, that bliss, that fullness, that light of lights alone exists. And I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. In essence, I am no other than that. To ponder this is itself an instant energizer, instant awakener, instant inspirer. That is the reality, and in this reality we must live. In this truth we must act. With what great strength, elation and positiveness, with what wonderful sublime feelings of zeal we can pursue our spiritual path if we keep ourselves in the awareness of this truth. There is nothing other than Brahman. Ekang eva advitiyam Brahma. Brahman alone exists. Brahmeva satyam. This is the ultimate truth. The greatest philosopher of India, who has been the subject of wonder of many Western philosophers, Jagadguru Shankaracharya said that which has been declared in thousands of scriptures, I shall tell you in just a half a verse. Slokardhen pravakshami yaduktam grantha kotivihi brahma satyam jagan mithya jivo brahmivanaparah. Brahman alone is real. The seen is unreal. And this individual soul is that, and that only, no other than that. This is the ultimate truth, the great truth, the one truth. So what is the sadhana we have to do from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad? Our holy master, Gurudev Sri Swami Shivananda Maharaj, explains in nutshell, the self alone is dear. One who loves something other than the self loses what he loves. The self is the absolute. One who knows this becomes indestructible. He is only a beast who considers he and his God are different. Not for the sake of this, all this is dear, but for the sake of the self, this all is dear. By knowing that self, everything else automatically known, for the self indeed is this all. The self is an ocean without a shore and a surface. It is mere existence, consciousness and bliss. Where there is duality, as it were, one can speak to the other, see the other and understand the other. But where everything is just one's own self, then who can speak to whom? Who can see whom? Who can understand whom? That is the supreme end. That is the supreme blessing. That is the supreme bliss. And a part of this bliss, other creatures are living. He who is without desire, who is freed from desires, whose desire is satisfied, whose desire is the self, his pranas do not depart. He being Brahman itself becomes Brahman immediately. The Jivan Mukta is like a child. He is the source of all knowledge, but he behaves like an idiot. He is a true Brahmin who has known Brahman. He who dwells in all things and yet is other than all things, know not, in whose body are all things, who controls all things from within. He is the soul, the inner controller, the immortal. He is the unseen seer, the unheard hearer. He is the unthought thinker, the ununderstood understander. Other than him, there is nothing whatsoever at any time. One who dies without knowing this Supreme has died in vain. He is a wretched man. He is a great man who dies knowing the Supreme. He is a true Brahmin. Verily, that great, unborn soul, undecaying, undying, immortal, fearless, is Brahman. Brahman is fearless. One who attains this becomes the fearless Brahman. That is full. This is full. From the full does proceed. Withdrawing the full from the full alone still remains. This is the gist of the Upanishads in whole. The sadhana of the Upanishads is mainly the type of an analogy of Brahmarakita Nyaya. Meditation on the truths declared in the Upanishads is sadhana. They are of a very highly advanced nature, and only advanced students can take up this method of sadhana. The name of this method of sadhana is Jnana Yoga. It is an intellectual analysis for the sake of perfection in intuition. The Jnana Yogi starts his sadhana directly from the Vijnana or the intellect. is not guided by emotions, not by the regulation of prana and the like. He stills all emotions and centers his mind in the Supreme Self. He attains Shadyo Mukti or immediate salvation. He enters into everything and becomes the self of everything. This is the end of the ideal of human life. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.